Power Rangers Mystic Force. This is just okay. Power Rangers Mystic Force. What it's about? Well, it's basically Harry Potter. The Power Rangers has capes. They got brooms. They're fighting evil. Lo and behold, what's the story about? There was an ancient evil that was said that was not destroyed, but was banished to the underworld and by magic. And the thing is, though, the evil has awakened and it's up to the Power Rangers to stop and save the day. The thing is, though, I know a lot of people complain this season mostly just focused on the Red Ranger. Yeah, this season mostly focused on the Red Ranger, Nick. I don't hate the character. The writers just did what they did, but it was not a good decision. Let's start off with the good things. The good things is for this season, the theme song, I loved it. I loved the entire layers of the underworld, of the villains lair. I loved the Power Rangers headquarters. And I did like some episodes, but this wasn't anything special. I would say the best thing I could describe in so many other words, Power Ranger Mystic Force has a lot of good ideas, but it doesn't follow through with them. And the fact is that other Power Ranger seasons had similar plot lines and they did it better. Now let me talk about the villains. One of the main villains was called Mordecai or something like that. And this character was hyped up because he was banished to the underworld and the Rangers were trying to stop him from coming forward into the real world. He's killed off in episode 12 out of 32 episodes. And I'm just like, he's one of the big bads and they kill him off in the 12th episode. One of the main guys who they struggled with in ancient times, the ancient warriors struggled with just putting him down in the freaking underworld. And I know that they're always saying that Mordecai always serves the master, and all that stuff. Before I get into the master and that stupid character, that stupid villain, there was this one character called Imperius. He could have been like Darkana from Power Rangers in Space. He was always scheming to one-up the master. He's always scheming to either kill the master or to replace the people around the master so he could get further in charge, so he could be ruler of the underworld. The thing is, though, his final act is him doing something good for the master. It would be one thing if he was still alive. It would be something if he was like Darkana, like just scheming to get to the top. But his character went to shit. There's the Queen of the Vampires. I liked her, but then they turned her good. What was the other group of villains? Let me just read off my notes. The 10 Terrors, lousy villains. They were just there to try to get the master out of the pit. The master is finally unleashed. He's basically like an octopus, and he is there for 2 episodes. They did a terrible job of building up the master. If you want to look at a season that built up a villain, look at the Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I remember that from when I was a little kid. Queen Bansheera was built up like in 4 to 5 episodes of the last episode of the Power Rangers. And she did more to be a big threat than the Master ever did. So I already compared 2 things already. Space for Darkana for one villain of Power Rangers Mystic Force. And then the Power Rangers villains for like Lightspeed Rescue. The villains of this season were not good. Now going back to the Power Rangers. Nick the Red Ranger, it's really just all about him. There's so many. I like the other Rangers better. Mostly all of them. Xander, the Green Ranger, obnoxious, total douche. Loved him. Chip is a dumber Ron Stoppable. Vic and V and Maddie, they're sister Power Rangers. So I thought, oh, they'll do something with that story arc. They don't really. Maddie, I really like her relationship with Nick. I think they could be a potential good couple, and I do like them. But they don't really do much with Maddie's character either. V, she likes music, and she's a DJ. And she doesn't like the color pink. She doesn't get really anything to develop. Like I said, a lot of it goes around the story of Nick. And the story of Nick is, well, there ain't no story. It's just that everybody's like, oh, he is the mentor of the Power Rangers' son. The mentor of the Power Rangers is called, what was her dang name? Udana. Udana, she's like the Zordon of this era. And she's trying to help the Mystic Rangers, all this stuff. And it was magic. It was fate for her to find her long, long son. The thing is, though, they don't really do much interactions with them after they found their mother and son. They really don't develop a lot of characters. I mean, they just pushed Nick to the front. Nick is the son of one of the leaders of the Power Rangers. Okay. Nick is also the light. He'll be the ultimate light against the forces of evil. So it's all about Nick. It's just basically about the Red Power Ranger from Mystic Force. I'm sorry, you gotta do more better than that. For 32 episodes, you should develop this group as a team, as a group of friends. I mean, they are a group of friends, and we could see it in a sense, but the thing is, though, they needed time to develop other characters. Speaking of other characters, Claire, she is basically the cousin of Nick. She is Udana's freaking niece, and her story is she's a gatekeeper. She could open up and seal the gates. The thing is, though, they waste that in the first... She's basically a dummy. She does it. She's for her powers. She's not really attuned. She's not really in sync with her powers at being a wizard or being a mage. She doesn't really know how to do magic well. The thing is, though, that's understandable. The problem is, after the 12th episode, there ain't really much for her to do except sit on a dragon egg and let it hatch and basically be more dumb, do stupid things around. She's a Vulcan skull of this universe, except she has one good moment, and then that's pretty much it. What the Rangers do besides that for the first 12 episodes? Well, they fight against, what's his name? Korag. Yeah, he was cool, but they don't develop him as a villain all too much. I mean, they do develop him as a villain. I don't want to go into total spoilers, but I might as well. But to me, I watched Power Rangers Mystic Force, and I was just thinking, why do I even bother? Are they going to develop other characters besides Nick the Mystic Force Ranger? No. Are you going to develop the villains better? Are you going to have a clear-cut vision of what you want? No. Good ideas? Sort of. I mean, Nick going over there, if it would be one thing if Nick went over to this place to search for his parents and all stuff, but there's no exploration of him looking for his parents. It's just... he's adopted, all this stuff at the beginning, and they just little hints that, okay, his parents are going to be revealed this season. But he doesn't care for looking for them. He's just traveling to place to place to place. This is not the same thing. Look at Power Rangers Wild Force. Cole constantly was looking for his parents. Constantly. Yes, you could say he's a Tarzan of the Power Ranger universe and all that stuff, but at least he was always trying to look for his parents. He was always trying to figure out the mystery behind it. But it didn't Wild Force didn't just revolve around him. We had the Mystic Force. We had the Lunar Wolf Ranger saga. We had Alyssa having moments. We had Taylor having moments. We had the team ups with Time Force, and it just didn't revolve around one person. And to me, Power Rangers Mystic Force just revolved around Nick. And I don't hate the actor. The script was given what he was given, except it's a bad script. I don't think his acting is terrible. And I don't think he's a terrible ranger. It's all about him. So yeah, Power Rangers Mystic Force is just okay to me. I would grade it. It's a C+, B-. I want to give it a B-, but I don't want to call it good. To me, this is not a good season of Power Rangers. This is just had potential. It had something. It could have led to great, good things, but they don't really follow through, or they backtrack and they try to change characters' motivations. Again, some of it's good. There's certain good characters. There's certain bad characters. But I don't hate this season. I don't think it's a terrible season. This ain't Alien Rangers, which I doubt anything's going to be worse than Alien Rangers. But then again, I haven't seen Power Ranger Samurai and all the other ones. Or Megaforce. But this wasn't a great season. It wasn't a good season. It was just... I think I'm more disappointed with it. Power Rangers Mystic Force is, to me, just, it's okay. But what's your personal opinion, everybody? Do you think Power Rangers Mystic Force was a great season? Do you think it was a bad season? Please let me know what y'all think, everybody. My name's Jalise. I'm for everybody. Bye.